It's Phil with Stonewater Training. Just talking through kind of a morning mindfulness routine that I embrace. I kind of do this to really just get my mind, my body sort of aligned, set an intention for the day, and move forward and attack it with purpose. So this is designed for me to do after my morning movement routine, which is a separate video. What I find really helps is A, you already have a general idea of what you're doing for the day before you do this. B, you have clarity on, hey, what you see your personal purpose is, what's your reason for being. And then C, you understand, hey, what are my values? What's critical to me? So I'll share those as I walk through it. I'm going to be talking through this and explaining it probably more than doing. Because if I was just to do it, it would just be about 4 minutes of quiet and you'd wonder what you were watching. And I'd feel uncomfortable. So I like to start with just 1 minute of box breathing. And that's simply inhaling and exhaling through the nose for a 5 count. So a 5 count inhale, hold, a 5 count exhale, hold, and so on. And just doing that for a minute. When you're breathing, I like to close my eyes and almost focus at that space between my nostrils. Just imagine the air flowing in, kind of filling my abdomen and pushing all the way back against my spine. And I'll do that for a minute. Again, not a lot of takeaway if I do that on a video, but essentially a single box breath is something like this. Just imagine you're counting in your head. So that was one cycle of a 5-second inhale, a 5-second hold down in my abdomen, 5-second exhale all through my nose, and then a 5-second hold when I've emptied my lungs of all the air that I can in there. So I start with a minute of that. And then I tell myself, hey, what's my performance statement? Like, what do I have to do today to be successful? For me, it's normally something to the effect of, hey, be calm, be confident, be positive, meaning maintain emotional control, be confident in yourself and those around you, and think of ways to solve problems. Don't fixate on the problems themselves. Next, I'll reflect on what my purpose is. For me, there's 3 blocks to that. There's number 1, connect and inspire with others. Number 2, do good. And then number 3, I want to push my limits mentally, physically, spiritually, as a father, husband, so on. The list goes on. So I recite that to myself internally. I imagine what it looks like today. So for example, June 14th. Then I shift over to my values and I go, what's really important to me? How do I want to live? Who is the person I want to be? So I want to live my faith. I want to exemplify integrity, discipline, love, and to each of these I kind of define them. So for love, it's not an emotion, it's not words, it's acts of service, putting someone else above myself. So love, evolution, again, for me, it's not growing a 6th finger. It's about what can I do to learn and grow from others or from the world around me to become better tomorrow. And then lastly is courage. Where are my opportunities to stand up for what's right, to address things that aren't in a constructive, positive, tactful, respectful manner. So those are my values. I imagine what that looks like for the day. Then I just kind of play a video in my head of what does this day look like in the best case scenario. And this is why it's important to know what you have on the docket for the day. And then once I do that exercise, that takes about maybe a minute or so, I like to imagine what could go wrong, what might derail my day. And I don't just stop there identifying the problem, but I go, how am I going to address it? If someone gets emotional or upset, how do I defuse and de-escalate the situation? If I find myself kind of off track and being distracted, what am I going to do to bring myself back on? So things like that. Just imagine what could go wrong and how you're going to succeed in that. Then I like to recite to me what I call an identity statement. It's not always the person we are, but it's the person we want to be. So for me, it's I want to be laser focused, stoic, builder of elite leaders. And then I tell myself, hey, I'm supported by this amazing wife and I'm raising incredible world changers. not the little beasts of chaos that sometimes live in my house. So you're kind of painting an image in your head of, hey, what is the optimal existence for me, and how do I go that way? Our brain works funny when we have imagery and visualization of what we want. It starts engineering paths and ways to get there. Kind of evolutionary development that is really powerful when used the right way, and really dangerous when used the wrong. Meaning, when you fixate on problems and you fixate on things going wrong, your brain almost becomes like self-fulfilling prophecy. So when I'm done all that, once again, I go back into another minute of box breathing. And when I'm done that, I get up and I kick the living crap out of the day. So again, my morning mindfulness routine is this. It's a minute of box breathing. It's focusing on a performance statement. Who do I need to be today? Which for me was calm, confident, and positive. It's focused on my purpose statement. It's focused on my values and what they look like today. Then I replay a video, or not replay, I play a video of what I want the day to look like. I visualize it with as much detail as possible. And then I visualize what might go wrong and how I'm going to, counteract that and mitigate things that go wrong, or even better, spin them to a positive. When I'm done that, I remind myself through that identity statement of who I want to be, the world I want to live in. And then I do a minute box breathing, and then I'm ready to rock. So, I encourage you to develop some sort of mindfulness or morning routine to get your mind, your body, your intention set straight. This is a way, it's not the way. So, wish you all the best. Until next time, this is Phil with Stonewater Training, just reminding you this all starts with you, but it is not about you. Have a good one.